Hello everyone, welcome back. Here I am, Miss B. Miss B is going to teach you today about an artist. This artist's name is Mr. Vincent van Gogh. Mr. Vincent van Gogh lived in Europe long time ago, over 100 years ago, and he is going to show you today in this book, I'm going to show you today in this book some of the paintings that Mr. Van Gogh did. Now, he really liked drawing and painting flowers. Do you like flowers? Oh, maybe you could make one today with me. Now, Mr. Van Gogh really loved sunflowers. He painted so many different paintings of the same sunflowers, and he signed his name Vincent right there. That was his first name, Vincent van Gogh. Now in the Netherlands, in the Dutch language, they call Mr. Vincent van Gogh, they call him Vincent van Gogh. Can you say Van Gogh? Yes, that's it. That's how they say it in the Dutch language, in the Netherlands. Now, in America, we say Mr. Vincent van Gogh. Just like to go somewhere, Van Gogh. I'm going to read this book to you in a little while. First, we are going to have some fun drawing. Now, I want you to go and get a piece of paper, please, and you can draw with either crayons or you can draw with markers. If you have markers at home, I did mine with markers here. You can even try paint. And if you're doing to try, if you have paint at home, you can have painting today. Here is another one with paint. And this one is with paint. If you like these, maybe you could get your paints together either today or maybe tomorrow, and you can paint. And today, if you like, you can do one with me with markers, okay? Or crayons. I love to use both. So I will wait right here. You can put it on pause. Mrs. B's gonna have a cup of tea now while you're going to get your materials. See you in a few minutes. Oh, you're back. Great. Okay, I'm ready for you now. This is just one example of what your picture, your own creation, will be like. This is my creation. Yours will be a little bit different. Okay, so I'm just going to teach you now how to make, oops, ooh, a dragon appeared. Okay, let's get to the new page. Here we go. Now, how do we start? We can start with any color you like, and we're going to start with shapes for our vase. Remember we learned about shapes when Pablo and I taught you about shapes that can make a drawing? Remember we made a surprise bird. Well, I'm going to choose a shape for my vase. A vase can be any shape. It can be a circle. It can be an oval, like in this drawing that I made, an oval. Or It can be even a rectangle. I'm going to try a rectangle today. So you can make yours any way you choose. And I want you to start somewhere here on the page, not at the top. If you put it at the top, your vase, you will not have space for your flowers. So we need to do a little bit of arranging it now. So I'm going to put the vase over here somewhere, okay? Like this. A line, and another line, and another line, and another line. I made a shape. It's a rectangle. That's going to be my vase. Now you make your vase. I'll wait till you're done. Great, very good, you're doing well. Now, we're not coloring in yet. We're going to do that later. Right now we're doing what's called a sketch. We're just drawing the outline of all of our objects. Now, I want to make a sunflower or any other flower. Now, sunflowers are yellow and they have a brown center like that. And inside are little seeds. You see those seeds? Yes, those seeds are called sunflower seeds. Well, maybe if my assistant can get me a jar of sunflower seeds, then I can show it to you in a little bit later. Excuse me, could you please get me the sunflower seeds? If you pass it to me now, then I can show what real sunflowers look like. We have them in a jar back there in the kitchen. Okay, my assistant will go get it. Thank you so much. I can show you because we like to eat these sunflower seeds that come from the sunflowers. Have them in a jar. They look like this. You see? Those are sunflower seeds that are shelled. They don't have shells on them. If they had shells, the shells would be black color. And these are really delicious to have on your cereal or with yogurt. They're a great healthy snack. Now, we are going to have some sunflowers. Let's just try one. We're going to start with a circle, like this. A circle, and that's the middle of the flower. And now, sunflowers are yellow. So we're going to just go away from the circle, back to the circle, away, back, away, back, way back. Like this, like, almost like a zigzag. Like that. And you can put some in between too. There's my sunflower. Can you see it? There. Okay, great. Now, we're not going to draw the stems yet. Wait for the stems. And I'll tell you why we don't do the stem in just a little bit. Now, I want to make another flower. I'm going to make a little different one this time. Make a circle, and you can go around like this, round and back to the circle, round and round and round and round. Okay, I think you can do that. Color this in if I want to, or I can leave it white. That's up to you how you want to have your flower. And no stems yet, did you notice? Now I'm going to teach you how you could make a tulip flower. I like tulips. Tulip flower is like a letter U. Like that. You make a letter U, it is just a curved line. A curved line like that. And then we go down a line, up a line, down and up to there. Okay. I might make one down here again so you can draw with me. A letter U, like that. And now, after you did that, look up and you go down and up, like mountains. And you have another tulip. Then if you want to make it fancy, you could do a curved line here and a curved line there. Same thing here. Like that. Still no stems. No stems yet. I think maybe I'm going to try one other flower. You can make any one you want. I think I may like to have a pink one. Maybe I will do a little center. Oh, my pink is not working. I'll take this one. A little center like this, a circle. And maybe just like that, lines going out of the circle. Like maybe a daisy. There. Okay. You're doing great. I think we're ready for some stems now. I'll make mine green. The reason I didn't make them before is because if I had a stem here, it would go right on top of my flower. So now I can go down. Oh, I'm going to stop. I don't want to cover this flower, and then I'll go down here. Now, I have to choose. Are my stems going to go inside the vase, or is the vase not glass so you don't see through it? You can decide whatever you like to do. I think I'm going to put mine right into the vase. And this one might have to curve in to get into the vase like that. And this one is going to come down right in here into the vase. And what about this one? I don't want to cover, so I'm going to go slowly right in there like that. Now my flowers are in the vase. And I may want to put some water in the vase, like this. Water in the vase. And maybe start now coloring it in. You can decide how you want to do yours. You don't have to have yours a glass vase. You can do it any way you wish. You can even make designs on your vase and patterns. There. Okay, there's my water in the vase. Okay, great. How are you doing? What's missing on my stems? Leaves. Tulip leaves are long like this. Kind of long lines. And other flowers might have leaves that are like ovals. Like this. Okay. Let's check with Mr. Van Gogh and see how he made his sunflower leaves shapes. You see them? They're a little bit pointy, like this. Okay. Oh, it's starting to look like something with my leaves. There. I can fill in my tulips. Going to be red. There. And this one too. Oh, my markers are squeaking. They're talking to me. There. Okay. Now we need to put our flowers on the table. But I really think that it would be great if I put more color on this flower, don't you? Maybe you can color yours too. Okay, I did it. There. Put little seeds on here for the sunflowers on the sunflower plant. Okay. There we go. Put a little more pink in here. Make it brighter. Okay. Now we need a table for the vase to sit on, so it doesn't look like it's floating in here. So we're going to make a table. Oh, well, maybe I'll put a table line here, like that, straight line, and another one on the other side of my vase. Oh, now my vase is on the table. Is yours? Make those lines. Now think about making a pattern down here for your tablecloth. Your tablecloth might have even little flowers on it, or your tablecloth might be a checkerboard, or whatever you like. If it's going to be a checkerboard, then maybe we need to make some lines like this across the whole page. If you want it to be a checkerboard, like that, first straight lines. Oh, maybe it could just be stripes. Or, wow, I could make a checkerboard. You're the artist. You can make yours any way you want. I'm just getting ideas as I go along. There. Some of these can be colored in. Ooh, you could even play checkers on your checkered tablecloth. Won't that be fun? Now, what else? Anything else you would like to put into your picture? This one has an apple on a tablecloth. And this one has a pattern in the back. A pattern, lines and little dots. Just like another artist did. His name was Henry Matisse. He liked patterns. All artists love to paint and draw flowers. This one I painted and I made diagonal lines across the tablecloth. That works too. Now when we look at our picture, you could add more flowers. You could even add some greenery that fills in your picture. Like, for example, maybe over, let me look at it from here. Oh, maybe I could make something here. Like this, with little stems coming out of it. You know, sometimes when you have a flower bouquet, you might have some greenery that comes with it, or some ferns, or something like that. Now, sometimes they even have little flowers hanging off of it, like this. Making little circles. Okay, I did that. That's good because it's balancing my big flower on the other side. Okay, let me show you a little bit closer. There. Okay. I'm going to give you some time a little bit later to finish this and add whatever you would like to your picture, to your creation. And here's another one that Mr. Van Gogh did. And it's called Vase with Daisies. See the yellow daisies? Isn't that beautiful? That's very pretty painting. Those were Mr. Van Gogh's favorite colors. He liked to use blue and yellow and orange and white. And he painted with little strokes, little brush strokes, little lines. You see that? Like that. Okay, wonderful. Now, would you like to see what this book is about on Mr. Van Gogh? Let's find out. Okay, great. Here is a self-portrait of Mr. Van Gogh. This is what he painted, a painting of himself. And look, he's not smiling. He didn't smile in any of his pictures that he made. Let's read. Vincent van Gogh was one of the most popular artists. Not in his time. He was not popular in his time, and people did not buy his paintings then. Well, nothing ever seemed to go right for him, and he wasn't very happy. He never even smiled in his self-portraits. Van Gogh was born in Holland in 1853, and he also lived part of his life in France. Unlike most artists, Mr. Van Gogh didn't decide to become a painter until he was grown up. He tried a lot of other things first. He worked in an art gallery, right there, selling paintings. He also tried teaching. Here he is in a classroom. And he worked in a bookstore, and he was a preacher like his dad. See the bookstore? And he was a preacher like his dad. Van Gogh always tried his best at whatever he did. Isn't that great to know? I bet you try your best too. So he went to different art schools to learn everything he could about drawing and painting. His early drawings were of poor people he used to help when he was a preacher. You see, there are some people here in their drawings, but look at his drawings. They have no color, right? They're not color drawings. They're just in black and white. They're sketches with his pencil. There are certain things you can see in these drawings that show up later in his famous paintings, such as strong lines and shapes. You can see the feelings he had for everyday people. Van Gogh's first paintings were also of poor people he had been helping. In this painting, the family was so poor they had only few potatoes to eat for dinner. See? They're having potatoes. They are farmers. The name of this painting is called The Potato Eaters. They look tired and not very happy. Very dark painting. The colors in Van Gogh's early paintings are dark and not very happy either. He wanted everyone to know how hard the lives of the poor people were. The poor people had a hard life, and they were very tired at the end of their day after spending the day on the farm, bent over and picking potatoes and other vegetables. Let's turn the page. Van Gogh kept using dark colors until he discovered some very colorful Japanese artwork. He loved the bright colors and strong lines and shapes that he saw. Look at those. They have lots of color, don't they? There's Mr. Van Gogh. Well, he decided he was going to paint this painting. Isn't that colorful? What colors do you see in this painting? Yes, you're right. Orange and yellow and blues and white. Soon, Van Gogh's paintings started to look much more colorful. Look at the difference between the gloomy potato eaters and the painting above, which was done only a few years later. Here's a colorful painting, and let's look back at the potato eaters. Very dark, and this one's very bright. We know a lot about Van Gogh and how he felt. We know about his feelings because he was always writing letters to his younger brother, Theo. His brother's name was Theo. See? He's writing letters to Theo. Because Van Gogh was always sending and receiving letters, he got to know the postman pretty well. There's his postman. He painted pictures of him and used the postman's wife as a model in many of his paintings as well. Look at the background of that painting. What do you see on the back wall? You guessed it. You see flowers. Van Gogh really liked painting those. And he painted a postman. And he painted it right in his studio. And it's a portrait of a postman long time ago. Look at his beard. All those curly brush strokes in his beard. And he's wearing a special hat. And he has a uniform, doesn't he? Yes. Let's turn the page. In 1886, Van Gogh moved to Paris to join his brother Theo. There they are together. See them? Since Theo was in the business of buying and selling paintings and Vincent wanted to be an artist, well, it seems like a pretty good place to be. Theo introduced Vincent to a lot of painters while they lived in Paris. Vincent, I'd like you to meet Toulouse-Lautrec Emile Bernard, Camille Pissarro, Georges Seurat, Paul Signac, and Paul Gauguin. Gee, Theo, I was hoping to meet somebody famous, he thought. Well, these artists became famous later on. Hardly anyone knew it then, but many of those painters would become world-famous artists someday. A couple years later, Vincent van Gogh decided to leave Paris and move to a small country town called Arles. Van Gogh thought Arles would be a great place for artists to get together and paint and talk about their different ideas. Well, he tried to get as many artists as he could to join him. The only one to go with him was Paul Gauguin, although he wasn't really crazy about the idea of leaving Paris. Gauguin didn't seem to like anything that Van Gogh did in Arles, and they did not get along very well. There's Vincent cooking, Gauguin, Mr. Paul, he didn't even like the food either. Van Gogh probably decided to listen to Van Gogh about cleaning the place up because his room was quite messy at the time. Well, his bedroom looks pretty neat in this painting that he painted. Look how neat his room looks when he cleaned it up. There's his bedroom. Let's see. Oh, sometimes he painted and sometimes he just rested. When he felt good, he painted better than ever. He made the stars in the Starry Night seem like they're really shining. That is one of his most famous paintings, right there. Look at those stars and the swirly, swirly, swirly paint lines, paint strokes, and the wonderful tree right there. Looks like it's moving. The trees in this painting look like flames, and it feels like the whole picture is moving right there. In this painting, Van Gogh made the sun look really hot. You almost feel like you should put sunglasses on to look at it. See, look at that sky with all little strokes, little lines, and very bright, bright yellow sky. Beautiful trees. Finally, we get to see his sunflower painting that he did. Van Gogh usually put his paint on very thick. Sometimes he painted so fast he didn't even mix his colors. He used paint right out of the tube. There it goes. Van Gogh used so much paint, he was always running out of paint. Sometimes he stopped buying food in order to buy more paint, so he was hungry a lot of the time, and that was not healthy. He went to the store to buy tubes of paint, and he called them different names. Yellow, he would call yellow lemon. He wanted to order these paints, and he asked the salesman, he said, "I'd like to order some lemon yellow, pea green, cherry red, and I'll have an orange for dessert." That was funny, an orange for dessert. Orange color, he meant. Hardly anyone was interested in Van Gogh's work while he was still alive. He sold only a few drawings and maybe 1 or 2 paintings. Oh my. People in 1880s and 1890s just weren't used to the bright moving pictures that Van Gogh made. Today, things are different. People have learned how beautiful Mr. Van Gogh's art is. Now his paintings are in some of the most popular paintings in the world. This may have been Van Gogh's last painting when he was older. Some people think it shows how angry or upset he must have been feeling because he painted a scary sky, roads that led to a dark background, and crows that looked like bats. Soon after this painting was done, people really didn't like it. So he was upset that people didn't like his paintings. He didn't get compliments on them, and no one wanted to buy them. Well, Van Gogh made his paintings seem alive with color. His colors are so bright, you can almost smell the flowers he painted or feel the bright sun in the paintings. His brushstrokes give everything a feeling of movement. Trees, stars, and people feel alive. Maybe more than any other artist, Van Gogh's feelings came out in his paintings. That's why Mr. Vincent van Gogh is one of the world's greatest artists. It's much better to see Vincent van Gogh's paintings than just a picture of one. It's fun to see how thick he put his paint on his brush strokes and how bright his colors are. The pictures in this book came from museums listed below. If none of these museums are close to you, maybe you can visit one when you are on vacation. So you might be able to see some paintings in museums or in books. Well, he painted lots of paintings. There is a museum in the Netherlands that's called Van Gogh Museum, Van Gogh in Dutch. And people go there to see all his paintings, and they're beautiful. I have been there. Maybe someday I'll go again. Well, I think Pablo listened very carefully to the story, and now he wants to see your picture of the flowers. He's looking at mine and at yours. He's going to say bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, boys and girls. I'll see you again tomorrow. Have fun drawing. Bye.